help building consensus on the critical macroeconomic impacts on poor governance and corruption, to reaffirm the commitment of African governments to prioritize anti-corruption and good governance reforms, and to identify the pillars of an action plan to promote governance in Africa, including during crises such as the COVID-19 pandemic. These objectives, among others, are part of the priorities of an African Union concerned by strengthening good governance in its member states.
We continue evaluating progress in fighting corruption and have made several changes to legislation and adopted best practices. Specifically, the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission was reconstituted and capacitated to better deliver on its mandate as outlined in our national constitution.
Only 6 on the 54 African countries ranked on the Corruption Perception Index scored above 50 over 100. This is a sign that corruption continues to reign on the continent, not least the management of the health crisis caused by COVID-19. The African Union is providing support to its members to recover from the economic losses inflicted by the COVID-19 pandemic, estimated by the African Development Bank at 12% of the continent's GDP in 2021, and to build resilience through better governance.
A collaborative effort that brings together the public sector, the business sector, civil society, and media is necessary to effectively fight corruption on the continent. The AUABC is committed to exploring, together with the private sector, modalities for effective engagement in the fight against corruption in Africa, because together we can and we will defeat corruption.
According to the United Nations, investing in a relatively corrupt countries can cost up to 20% more than in non-corrupt countries. In the African Union process, digitalization and big data are seen as tools to promote transparency and ethical behavior. These reduce fragility and pave the way for sustainable transformation for Africa. To achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, it is important to tackle corruption.
The fight against corruption remains a serious and a complex challenge. Networks of corruption are becoming more and more sophisticated, permeating all sections of our society. The need to build strong and robust institutions to ensure that all our assets and natural resources benefit the majority rather than line the pockets of a few remains paramount and urgent.
Corruption and the transfer of illicit funds contribute to the capital flight in Africa, where over $400 billion has been diverted and sheltered abroad. The Gaborone conference provided a platform to the African Union Commission and the IMF to present their approaches to engaging with member countries on governance, sharing ideas based on their long experience of assisting member countries on governance and corruption issues, particularly through significant institutional capacity development.